Hello and welcome to Rathod Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see very important articles that appeared in today's and as well as yesterday's Hindi newspaper. First of all, I'll let you know important topics of the day, and later on we are going to analyze each and every topic from prelims and as well as mains dimensions. And at last, I'll be giving you prelims practice questions also so that you can understand how questions can be given in that topics from your prelims. Okay, and online students, please don't skip this video anywhere, guys. And one more announcement I want to make: in our academy we are going to launch a new batch for GS Prelims cum Mains Foundation. If you want to start your preparation and if you want to join either online or offline, you can contact us on this number 8074765513, guys. And if you want to talk to me directly, you can visit our institute. Our institute is located in Ashok Nagar, Hyderabad, exactly above Vikas Book Center, second and third floor. And I will be there in the office from morning to evening, guys. You can come and you can directly talk to me regarding the course. Okay, now let us see the topics. The first important topic it is about Kailash Yatra route. Recently, our government announced that it is going to restart or resume Kailash Yatra. But there is some concern regarding this yatra which is raised by Nepal. So because of this it is in news, and this topic is important from GS paper 2 under international relations. And next topic is Hemkut Sahib Yatra. There is one image related to this yatra in International Edition of Hindu. As part of your culture, you have to know some facts regarding this Hemkut Sahib Yatra. And next, it is about Yeshgana. And this is very important from your art and culture from history point of view. And next topic is India sends army team to Cambodia for joint exercise. If you're getting this kind of exercises in news, for sure you need to know. Recently we discussed about India Sri Lanka joint exercise, that is DIVEX, and there is one more exercise between India and Cambodia. You have to know about it, and you may get a prelims based question from this area. And this topic is important from international relations from GS paper 2. And next topic is government issues guidelines on childhood diabetes care. So actually there is one report recently released by government that is increased burden of non-communicable diseases in our country, and especially in children they are facing a problem called as obesity. And there is obesity report which had been released, and it says that 1 in 5 children in country who are at risk of this kind of non-communicable disease because of obesity. So here this article is giving about guidelines that we have to take care related to childhood diabetes, and this topic is important from governance from health point of view, guys. And next topic is tackling takedowns. Online censorship is a threat to the fundamental right to free expression. Recently our government came up with some rules and regulations related to IT rules, right? There we discussed about section 69 and as well as section 79A. So this article is talking about this update related to IT rules 22, guys. So this topic is important from your polity and governance point of view. So in this class we are going to discuss all these articles. Okay, now let us see the first article. Read out the title, guys. What it says: concern in Nepal on Kailash Yatra route. What is the keyword of this title? Keyword is Kailash Yatra. This is the one keyword, but it is talking about concern in Nepal. Okay, so let me write those here. First one is Kailash Yatra is one keyword. It is part of your history from GS1. Where exactly you will study about this topic in your syllabus? In your syllabus, you have a topic called as festival and fairs. In that topic from art and culture, you will be seeing about this Kailash Yatra. And next one is Nepal is now showing certain concerns. That means, can I say this topic is also important from India-Nepal relations? Yes. So this topic is important from India-Nepal relations, which comes under GS paper 2 under IR, guys. Okay, here what exactly you need to focus? There is one treaty. You have to focus on that treaty. Name of that treaty is Treaty of Sugali. Okay. So how can you expect a question? The first area here is consider the following statements regarding Kailash Yatra, and they may give you 2 to 3 statements and they may ask you to identify correct or incorrect. That is a one area. And this one is recently we discussed about Mahakumbh and Mahakumbh and as well as Ardhukumbh, etc. Right? So here they will be giving you pair based question 1, 2, 3 where it is. So like that you may get a pair based question and UPSC may ask you to identify correct or incorrect pairs. That is the second way of asking question. And next one here is you may get directly a question regarding this Treaty of Sugali. Recently Treaty of Sugali is in news. It is between or what is it? So like that you may get a question. And regarding mains, you may get India-Nepal relations this year because of elections, because of Gen Z protest in Nepal. Okay, so you have to see that area from your mains case. Now let us see this article. Context says that Nepal has raised strong objections. Related to what? Related to proposed Lippu Lake Pass route for 2026 Kailash Mansarovar Yatra. Okay, so if you want to understand this, every year government will be conducting this Kailash Mansarovar Yatra. But in 2019, what happened? COVID-19 pandemic. Because of that, they stopped this Kailash Mansarovar Yatra, and now in this year they want to resume it. And they proposed Lippu Lake Pass route, okay, to reach this Kailash Mansarovar region. So now here Nepal is saying that this Lippu Lake Pass is integral part of Nepal. And if Indians use this pass to reach this Kailash Mansarovar region, it will be affecting territorial sovereignty. So that is the one claim made by Nepal now. Because of it is in news. Okay, now let us see the details. Before seeing the details, here they are talking about Lippu Lake Pass and one more pass through which we can reach this Kailash Mansarovar Yatra is Nathula Pass. We have two passes. One is Lippu Lake Pass, second one is Nathula Pass. First of all, you have to understand what is the meaning of a pass. As you all know that we have Himalayas in the northern part, right? And these Himalayas are continuous ranges. If you are having a continuous range like this, if you want to reach other side of this Himalayas, we have to go in other route. Yes, we have to move along this, and wherever we have this pass, so we can go to that route. But what happens if we have this kind of route? So it is called as pass between the mountains. Then it will be easy for the people to reach this region to this region. So Lippu Lake Pass, Nathula Pass, Shipkila, like that we have many passes. On this passes also UPSC asked question. Okay, you have to see in which states which passes are there and what is the role of these passes, and you have to arrange them in the north to south or east to west, like that UPSC can give you a question. And even in this peninsular region also we have Western Ghats. In this Western Ghats also we have three important passes, Borghat, Talghat, okay, like that. You have to see that case. Okay, now let us see the details. So here Nepal's foreign minister issued a formal protest to India and China, and they are saying that Lippu Lake Pass lies in its territory as per Treaty of Sugali, which signed in year 1860 guys. And this Treaty of Sugali says that the area including east of Mahakali river like Limpiadura, Kalapani and Lippu Lake, they are part of Nepal. Okay, now let me know, I will let you know what is the story was. What was the story? So here in 1816, at that time before this, there was Anglo-Nepal wars. That means nothing but between Britishers and Nepal there was a war. And after this war in 1816, they signed a treaty, and this treaty is called as Treaty of Sugali. And what it said was, it is about mainly border between India and Nepal. And as you all know that Nepal is a mountainous country or a Himalayan country. Terrain is not clearly demarcated because of this lofty Himalayas. Okay, and even we know that Himalayas, they are the places where many peninsular Himalayan rivers originates, right? So one such river is River Kali. So whenever we are talking about boundary between the countries, we also use rivers. The problem with these Himalayan rivers is they will change the course. For example, if it is moving in this direction, if sediments are formed and filled here, so it may take another route. Yes. So because of this changing of course frequently, there will be issue between India and Nepal related to border. So recently this river Kali changed its course of river. So because of this now, this Nepal is claiming three important locations. These are the disputed areas between India and Nepal. They are Limpiadhura, Kalapani and Lipu Lake. So which is the river here? River Kali, guys. So here according to this treaty it says that areas which are present east of this Mahakali river or Kali river, they comes under part of Nepal. So what happened recently because of this change of course of river Kali, now Nepal is claiming this Limpiadhura, Kalapan and Lipulek, but India is not accepting it, guys. Okay. And here now Nepal claims that Nepal was not consulted on the route finalized by India and China related to this yatra. So because of this, they are showing some concerns, they are protesting. Okay, now why they raise this issue? The reason here is recently our Ministry of External Affairs announced on April 30th, 2026 to resume yatra after 5 years of COVID-19 gap phase. And next important one here is Nepal mainly views that if people are passing through this route, then it will be affecting territorial sovereignty of Nepal. Because of this, Nepal is raising issues. Okay, now let us see some facts regarding this Mount Kailash. Mount Kailash is a diamond-shaped peak made of black rock. And where it is located? It is located in Tibet. India organizes a Kailash Mansarovar Yatra every year, that too between months of June and September. And we send the people to this Kailash Mansarovar Yatra by two routes. First one is through Lipu Lake Pass, second one is Nathula Pass. And this Lipu Lake Pass is located in Uttarakhand and Nathula Pass is located in state of Sikkim. These are the points that you have to remember. And next one is Mount Kailash stands at 6,638 meters. That means about 6 kilometers, and it is one of the sacred peak which is considered or revered by Hindus, Buddhists, Jains, Bones, etc. So Bones are nothing but the indigenous Tibet religion. For Tibetans, here Kailash is a cosmic axis or Mount Meru. So this mountain will be connecting heaven and the earth. And for Hinduism, it is the place this Lord Shiva meditated and even Goddess Parvati. And next one is Jainism. Kailash is Astapada, where Rishabhnath attained enlightenment. So because of this, Kailash Nath is important in different religions, guys. Okay. And this Mount Kailash is considered as one of the spiritual center of the earth. Especially here, Satluj, Brahmaputra, Kamali, Indus rivers, they originate at this area. And here we have one important lake you have to remember, that is Lake Mansarovar. Lake Mansarovar is located at the base of this mountain. Okay, that is the thing guys. And if you see about some facts related to this Lipu Lake Pass, it is one of the high altitude mountain pass located in state of Uttarakhand. And the cause of concern here is this Lipu Lake Pass is located at tri-junction of India, Nepal and China. And it links Indian state of Uttarakhand with Tibet region of China, guys. Okay, that's it. And if you see about this Treaty of Sugali, it was established boundary line of Nepal and India, guys. And when it was signed, It was signed on 4th March 1816 and it is present or it was signed between East India Company, that is Britishers, and Nepal, guys. Okay, because of this signing of this Treaty of Sugali, the war between this Gorkha Kingdom of Nepal and British East India Company had been ended. Okay, and now let us see what is the impact of this kind of protest done by this Nepal now. If you see whatever the protests which you are seeing on from Nepal side, it will be having impact for sure, guys. Because already because of this claiming of these three regions, Lipu Lake, Kalapani and Limpiadura regions, already the diplomatic strain we can see between India and Nepal. So here furthermore diplomatic strain can be seen between India and Nepal because of this move of Nepal. And next one is pilgrimage disruption can happen because if this kind of protest are done by this Nepal, then what happened? People cannot reach Yatra on time, guys. So because of this, potential delays can happen, and sometimes route changes can also happen. And next one is there may be also increased regional tensions also because it will be affecting the trade, it will be affecting the infrastructure and as well as border Himalayan geopolitics itself. And this one here is the pilgrims who want to go to this place, obviously they will be facing some issues, guys. So these are the impacts of this move of Nepal. So these are the points that you have to remember from this article point of view, guys. And I hope you understood like how questions can be asked. Okay, now let us see the next article. I think you can see an image here. So this image, it is nothing but there is one temple here. Before this temple, whatever the snow, whatever the ice is there. So people are trying to clear this ice and as well as snow in this region. Okay, that means this image is talking about some region which is at high altitude. Yes or no? So here this article is talking about one important shrine related to this Sikhism. That is nothing but Sri Hemkund Sahib. Where it is located? Sri Hemkund Sahib, which is located in Uttarakhand. Hemkund Sahib located in Uttarakhand, guys. Please make a note. And this topic is very important from your Bhakti movement, you can say. And even it is important from your art and culture point of view. Now let us see some facts regarding this. You may get a question directly here because 2026 marks 50th anniversary of Guru Tej Bahadur. So here this time you may get a question on this Sikhism, guys. So you have to see clearly. Okay. Now let us see some facts regarding this Hemkund Sahib. Hemkund Sahib is nestled at an elevation of approximately 4,329 meters above the sea level, and it is located on the banks of one important lake called as Hemkund Lake. Okay, and it is surrounded by snow-clad Himalayan peaks, and it will be having a beautiful landscape with ice as well as mountains and glacial waters, alpine meadows, and even it is having a peaceful and spiritual atmosphere as well. And it is also one of the important trekking routes also. So in this route we can reach this Valley of Flowers, guys. Recently this Valley of Flowers is in news. Why? Because of forest fire. Uttarakhand government cannot handle that situation, so that it took help from Air Force. Also we discussed that topic, right? So that is that Valley of Flowers. Okay, now let us see the significance of this shrine. So Hemkund Sahib is one of the most revered Sikh shrines globally. And as per the Holy Granth Sahib, it says that Guru Gobind Singh Ji, the 10th Sikh Guruji, is believed to have meditated at this Hemkund Lake for his earlier lifetime. And this site serves as a symbol of divine reflection, resilience and purity for devotees, guys. So because of this, it is in news and you have to know about this because of this 350th anniversary of this Guru Tej Bahadur. Okay. Now let us see the next image. So if you see this next image, it is very colorful image, colorful dresses, and they are having extensive makeup on their face, and even you can see lots of different color things which are showing as a halo like that. So actually this image is showing about one important traditional folk theatre called as Yakshagana. And many a times UPSC asked question in your prelims related to this theaters guys. And this is one of the most important area that you have to focus. So for this year prelims from art and culture point of view, you have to see theaters and as well as paintings. Very, very important this year guys. Okay, in that also there is one painting called as Sauri painting, which is a traditional painting of Jharkhand. You have to know about it. Okay, now let us see some facts regarding this Yakshagana. So Yakshagana is a traditional folk dance and it is very much popular in coastal Karnataka region guys. And this theatre is combination of dance, music, song and dialogues, and they wear very attractive colorful costumes also. And traditionally, men, they portray all roles, including female ones in this Yakshagana. And in this Yakshagana theatre, normally they will be having around 15 to 20 actors and a Bhagavata who is the master of ceremonies and main storyteller in that. So these are the some important facts you have to see, and you have to see other theatres from different states and what is the specialty of other theatres. Okay, you may get a pair based question. They'll give you a theatre name and on the other side they'll be giving you a state and you have to identify whether it is right or incorrect. Okay, now let us see the next article guys. Look at the title. India sends army team to Cambodia for joint exercise. Recently we discussed about India and Sri Lanka joint exercise called DIVEX, right? And now we are going to have one more exercise called as SINBAX 2. SINBAX 2, it is between India and Cambodia guys. Very, very important from your prelims point of view. How can you expect a question? Consider the following statements regarding SINBAX 2 2026 and they may give you at least 2 or 3 statements and they may ask you to identify which of the above statements are correct or incorrect. And next type of question is consider the following pairs and they'll give you name and they'll give you like country and what is it. And you have to identify which pairs are correct or incorrect guys. Now let us see the context. Context says that Indian Army has dispatched a 120-member contingent for second edition of India-Cambodia military exercise. So here India sent around 120 members for this exercise guys and it is happening in this, it is going to be conducted in this Cambodia itself. And the name of this exercise is SINBAX 2. If you see the objectives of this SINBAX 2, the first important point is this exercise will be focusing on company level joint training of Indian and as well as Cambodian troops. And they are going to share best practices and they are also going to share their operational experiences in counter-terrorism scenarios. And they will be also focusing on how to enhance defense cooperation and how to address this global challenges. Additional is they are also focusing on improving of bilateral ties, mutual understanding and as well as they are focusing on peace efforts as well. So these are the some important points that you have to remember. And now let us see the next article guys. Look at the title. Government issues guidelines on childhood diabetes care. So here you have to understand the keyword diabetes. What is the meaning of diabetes? So here we have different kinds of diseases guys. In this disease we have communicable diseases and next one is non-communicable diseases. What are these communicable diseases? Whenever you are communicating with others, for example talking, sharing of things, shake hand or handshake or hugging, everything. So if you are communicating with others, if there is any chance of transmission of a disease from one person to another person when they are communicating with others is called as communicable disease. And what is this non-communicable disease? If you are sharing your bed, if you are sharing your clothes, everything. So whenever you are communicating basically, there will be no transfer of the disease or transmission of disease from one to another. It is called as non-communicable. Examples of this communicable are, for example, you know about this COVID-19, okay, and you know about smallpox, chickenpox that will be easily spread from one to another. In this non-communicable disease, we have examples like liver disease or cancer or heart disease or anything, it will not be transferred from one to one, right? So those are NCDs. So here we can say diabetes mellitus is an example of non-communicable disease. And what is this diabetes mellitus? To say simply and in layman language, there will be increased blood sugar. There will be increased blood sugar level. So in your blood, there will be increasing of sugar level. That condition is called as diabetes mellitus. Okay, why the sugar level will be increased? Because of one hormone called as insulin. Normally, if insulin is produced in the right amounts in your body, it will be converting excess blood sugar into glycogen. It is a storage form of sugar in your body. But what happens in the patients of this diabetes mellitus, the first condition is that sometimes they will not produce insulin. Because of this, there will be constant increased concentration of blood sugar levels. Okay, this is called as type 1 diabetes mellitus. And next one here is we have type 2 diabetes mellitus. In this type 2 diabetes mellitus, insulin is produced in your body in the proper amounts, but your body cells will not accept it. This condition is called as insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is seen in type 2 diabetes mellitus. And we have one more type called as type 3. It is also called as gestational diabetes mellitus. Normally in the pregnancy time, women will be having lots of cravings, so that they will be eating more and more food, and there is also myths that you have to eat for 2, 3 like that. Okay, so because of this, what happened? There will be increased blood sugar level in the blood of a pregnant woman. That type of diabetes is called as gestational diabetes. That will be normally relieved after once delivery is done. Only 0.01 percentage of women, they will be facing this diabetes even after the delivery. Okay. So here, what is the thing which is happening in this diabetes mellitus? There will be increased blood sugar level, guys, because of lack of hormone called as insulin. Insulin is produced by which organ? Pancreas. Pancreas will be producing this insulin, guys. Okay, now the problem here in India is there is change in lifestyle of people. We are focusing on fast foods and even ready-made food, packaged foods, and we are not focusing on physical exercise. So because of this, what happened? And in this, in our country, many children, they are having this overweight. So because of this overweight or obesity, their body metabolism will be not happening in the right way. So because of this, they will be getting this kind of metabolic disorders like diabetes mellitus. Now this article is saying that yes, we have to take certain steps to control this diabetes in children. Okay, so now government is providing a comprehensive free of cost care package at public health services. And why this kind of services? This is nothing but this is an instrument that we can use to check our body blood glucose. Okay, so if this kind of free of cost packages are there in this government hospitals or public areas, it will reduce the financial burden and it will ensure uninterrupted treatment of children who had been diagnosed with this diabetes. And this one is government is also providing a document which is focusing on family and caregiver empowerment as well. And they are providing structured training and as well as insulin administration how and blood glucose monitoring, emergency response and daily disease management. They are focusing on all of these areas, guys. Okay. So here this article is saying that we have to take certain lifestyle modification so that we can address this problem, or else our children will be in the risk of diabetes. Okay, now let us see the next article, guys. Look at the title. So this article is saying about tackling takedowns. Online censorship is a threat to fundamental right to speech and expression. So recently our government of India came up with increased rules for this IT information technology. Why? Because there is increased online content and increased use of AI. Because of this, within seconds and minutes, we are generating lot content. And whenever we are posting that content in social media, people don't know which is fake or which is correct. So because of this, what happens many a times, this misinformation is circulating in the social media platforms. To control that, government is focusing on tight control of this information technology, guys, internet. Okay, so for that reason they came up with amendment to this IT rules, and in that you have to know about two sections, section 69 and as well as section 79, guys. Okay, now let us see here why this article is in news. Is recently Twitter sued central government, and Twitter started challenging section 79 and as well as 69 of Information Technology Act. And here in this petition it is saying that if government is asking us to remove content within 3 hours, within 2 hours, if this Meta is not removing this content within 3 hours or 2 hours, it will be losing its safe harbor under section 79. So this is the point which had been highlighted in that petition. Okay, now let us see about what is section 79. If you see the section 79, government can direct online intermediaries, that is nothing but the platforms, to remove unlawful content. If they are not removing that unlawful content within the time frame of 3 hours, or if it is a pornographic or if it is very harmful content, they have to remove it within 2 hours. If they are not following these regulations, then what happens? They may lose their safe harbor protection. Okay, because of it is a news case. Now this article is saying that they are using the Sahyog portal. So in the Sahyog portal, if government officers and police officials, if they are reporting any content, they have to remove that content within 3 hours or 2 hours. Right. So because of this, what will be the impacts? It will be increase the state authority. The court held that yes, government's broad power to issue blocking orders, reinforcing executive control over digital content. And this one is, these companies are going to lose their safe harbors. And even entire accounts, not just specific posts, can be blocked. So because of this, in future, government can become authoritative and there will be very less transparency, and even it is affecting Article 19(1)(a), that is freedom of speech and expression, guys. Okay, so this is the thing that is there in the article. Now let us see some prelims practice questions. First one is with reference to Sahyog portal. Consider the following, and this time we are expecting a question on the Sahyog portal, guys. If you want, you can make some other additional points to be added in your notes, guys. I am sincerely telling that yes, this time you will be getting question on the Sahyog portal. Be careful, okay? Don't ignore this. First statement is the portal is maintained by I4C, that is Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center, which comes under Home Affairs. And next one here is its primary purpose is to automate the process of sending content blocking notices to online intermediaries under section 79(3). And as well as it creates a direct centralized channel for law enforcement agencies and state nodal officers to coordinate with social media platforms for removal of unlawful content. Okay, so read these 3 statements and tell me which statement is right and which statement is wrong. Tell me the answer in the comment box. Don't forget. And next question, guys, it is very easy question. Which political outcome best explains why the Treaty of Sugali is considered turning point between British and Nepal relations? Option A is it formally recognized Nepal as an independent kingdom but confined with reduced borders. And B is it completely annexed Nepal into British Empire. C is it forced Nepal to accept permanent British military garrison in Kathmandu with shared rule. And D is it restored all territories to Nepal in exchange for trade and concessions. So in these options, which is the correct options, please let me know, guys. And by this I am concluding. If you like this class, please hit the like button, please do share this class to your friends. And one more thing here is, if you want to start your UPSC preparation, you can join our Prelims cum Mains Foundation course, which is going to be launched in this first week of May, guys. And we are providing both on online and as well as offline. And if you have any queries, please do contact us on this number 8074765513. And if you want to meet me, you can come to office, which is located in Ashok Nagar, Hyderabad. And I wish you all the best, guys.